I love the Thresh, and I also love the Olaf pick for Santorin.
I like it for Santorin for trying to control Xerxe because they did at the same time leave up the Zhao. I think that's a bit of a, like we know you're going to take this as a strategic giveaway, but then the Olaf can kind of go toe-to-toe early on, and with Thresh presumably having priority, you can maybe move in. So already I kind of like both teams where it's like Xerxe gets a very comfortable, powerful champion, but Team Liquid seem like, yeah, we know you're going to do that.
Locking in LeBlanc early would be interesting.
Wow.
Especially since, yeah, wow, they actually did it. I was checking to make sure my eyes were not deceiving me. We'd have no Syndra ban as well. And I also do think, and I've talked about this before, there are a lot of laning counters to the LeBlanc that I think TL would be perfectly comfortable playing. Picking up the Draven for Raes would also be, okay. So they're really prioritizing, as you guys already touched upon, making sure that they do have something that Raes is super comfortable on.
And it's funny because I was talking about like the 8 or 2 level of like, what are you gonna get when you roll the dice? Like the funny thing is, Draven is that champion in a nutshell. Like you snowball so hard if you, get those early kills, get that extra gold. If you fall flat in your face, you're just gonna be totally worthless because you kind of need to stay ahead of the pace of the game so you can be aggressive and run at people. If you are ever on the defensive, it's gonna be a lot more difficult.
I did not expect the Lulu to come through.
The Lulu LeBlanc is an old matchup.
Yeah, I was expecting Jensen to still go for something that's more like typically, a counter, but like I don't dislike it. I'm just like, but not what I was expecting him to pick, but it gives you lane prio. It allows you to stand up to LeBlanc really easily, both in lane, but then also in team fights if she wants to burst one of your teammates down.
Yeah, there's so many things that work actually well against it. It is a bit of a skill matchup in the lane, like you're saying, but then later on, you polymorph her when she goes in, or you just ult the target and shield them. It also works well with the core that they have of the Olaf being able to buff him up, let him get in that invade. If they're trying to hold down Xerxe, like we were saying, is potentially their game plan. Lulu works perfectly for that. So while a counter we haven't seen in too long, there's a period of time where like Lulu LeBlanc was the meta. You were playing one end of that matchup like 50% of the games you were playing.
And Jensen played that, so.
Yeah, he was there for that meta too, so he knows it. It has like lost a little bit of the like explosiveness that used to be with both the champions kind of getting their power level hit. But it is still going to be a really fun one to watch because it is interactive. Like the LeBlanc's going to want to go in, the Lulu's going to try and polymorph when that happens. It's a really fun matchup.
One thing I think is really interesting coming out, just because we were talking about this and we were doing draft prep, is I was like, I wonder if teams are going to be looking at the Ashe, and TL was actually one of the teams I was thinking might bring that into play. So it's interesting that IMT are banning it out there, and then TL just taking some more supports off the table.
Yeah, I think it's also, when you're talking about the draft prep that we were both doing, we're both like, what is the thing TL consistently do? And I think you could argue that's one of the things they've struggled with this split, is finding a really defined play style. It's what was
outside of laning.
Outside of laning, yeah. Like with Alphari coming back, that's been one of the things. It's been like, okay, well, we always have Alphari as a win condition now, which is what was good. But for a period of time, they picked the Lulu before with like not really a carry you're trying to buff up, and already it looks a little bit better with the Olaf. So I'm hoping that they can round this draft out, and we'll see if they can get another threat to buff it up. With solo lane Lulu, you don't really need to pair it with like Lulu Cog. Yeah. But I would like to see some threat in the bot lane.
Plus, the Caitlyn's really interesting because she was buffed on this patch too. There we go. Okay. I mean, I personally love playing Caitlyn. I'm a bot laner.
Oh, you're evil.
I am. I was going to point out the Thresh though, because one thing that I think we touched upon already is getting a really good pick for Raes, but Destiny is a huge part of that equation. And his playmaking, they already eliminated the Leona, the Nautilus, and they picked away the Thresh. So I do like that from TL, because if they're going to have this hard pushing bot lane with the Caitlyn Thresh,
they're gonna do it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of their only, honestly, like that's kind of their only option.
When you play into Thresh Caitlyn, you are going to lose the lane. What you want to do is kill it somehow. And so, going for another hook champion, they banned and took away
Draven
2 of them.
Blitz, yeah.
Yeah, Draven.
No, that's actually a smart answer.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little rough early on, but you're just trying to stack up your passive, wait till the Zhao can get down there, and look for these kind of timing windows to get that kill, because realistically, you have no way to contest the wave pretty much ever in the laning phase unless you start getting actual kill threat over and over.
Oh, and the Jayce locked in as
blind
final pick.
Yeah.
Blind for revenge. That's going to be a risk, given Alphari's laning prowess, and also I'm assuming that they're still going to send the Lulu mid because it's a good matchup for her. So
yeah, I think it's interesting. I kind of like the idea of going like, okay, well, you're clearly bot oriented. You have Caitlyn Thresh. You want to go bot, so I'm going to pick an aggressive laning top side. And this is the counter by Alphari. Not at all what you would expect, but actually really good.
Yeah, so I absolutely love this in this draft, actually. It's not at all what I would have expected Alphari to play because he does typically go for absolute lane dominance, and that is not this pick. But with this team composition, especially with the Olaf getting buffed up, it's just going to be actually absolutely nuts if they can pull.
And into what they're playing against. Immortals is basically all physical damage. You can ignore the LeBlanc if you're Malphite for the most part, and you're just going to make Draven's life hell. You have Lulu sped up, Olaf charging you down, you have this Malphite to blow him up, and that's the main threat in team fights. Even the Jayce, is pretty immobile, so you can hop onto him if he ends up being the fed one, but you have so many tools to kill these immobile threats, and then you largely ignore the LeBlanc and let the Lulu deal with whoever she's trying to kill.
And also, like, we kind of touched upon it. You touched upon it on the desk a little bit. I actually think Xerxe has been playing super, super well, and a lot of their early game strategy has been around where he can affect the map, right? And I also think that this TL comp does a really good job of mitigating that because the Olaf can show up. He'll be like a perma buffed. They have strong lanes, and it even counters like the arguable like kill lane of the Draven Blitz. So it's gonna be a tough one for IMT, I think.
Yeah, I'm feeling like TL came out pretty good here if they don't snowball one of these lanes really hard off Xerxe's ganks.
And with our job complete with draft, we're gonna hand it back over to Flowers and Raes for game 4.
Thank you very much, Emily and Mark. Welcome back, everybody. I'm still Captain Flowers. That is still Raes, and this is Immortals versus Team Liquid. Now, this Immortals draft, to me, Raes, looks like one of those scrappy types of compositions that needs to get ahead early, because what in the hell do they all do together in a 5v5?
Scrap and burst, and then pray. Pray that you got the damage down on one member. Either Lulu has been dissipated or something. Perhaps even the Thresh. And yeah, to your point, it's going to be hard if that doesn't happen.
Alrighty. Well, Alphari's up here on the Malphite, so they're going to have plenty of engage potential there on the side of TL. We know how annoying Lulu can be keeping people alive. Xerxe is just going to see Team Liquid being ready there, so he doesn't want to proceed any further into enemy territory. Yeah,
this could be an invade from Team Liquid, but I mean, Team Liquid just want to stack in case someone wants to go over there and place the ward. Xerxe is hyper aware of that. He's not even in the pixel bush that you would expect most junglers to be in. Now he's just in the banana bush. So Team Liquid's bot lane, heading straight back down there.
I mean, standing in the pixel bush versus Thresh, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
If they properly read you, you are in trouble. Also, just letting y'all know, tune in tomorrow before the show for a new episode of Masterminds at 1:30 p.m. PST. We got Spawn and Hyde joining Kobe for some Aphelios top. If you're one of those top laners and you know exactly what I mean and you want to learn a little bit about it, there's a show.
That would be an interesting one. Danny's on the show as well, so maybe it's going to be Danny top lane with that Aphelios. Probably the best call on that one.
I would definitely take Danny's Aphelios over Kobe's Aphelios. Kobe, if you're watching right now, you know I got a lot of love for you, but not for your Aphelios. Like,
just take offense to that.
All right. Oh, my goodness gracious, from downtown at level 1. Tactical gets pulled in. And Destiny's got the God hand.
Yeah, I mean, the desk talked about it a little bit, the buffs that came through on this patch to Caitlyn later on in the game. You get that.
That had to be a lollipop.
Yeah, for Blitzcrank, being able to find that. Destiny is a great Blitzcrank player. He knows what he's getting. This one, too.
Oh. Minion got in the way just in time. CoreJJ bringing back a little bit of damage here. As you can see, Insanity getting the better of Jensen at level 1.
Some of the buffs that Blitzcrank did receive, though, is a damage buff on her Q, and most importantly, 3 extra bit of armor as a base armor on.
It's a little bit tankier.
Exactly, a little bit tankier in the lane. Can take a little bit of the brunt of the damage from tactical, so that's always nice. And I mean, this lane is already working out pretty well. Didn't get a stun, but I mean, just still making it so tactical's feeling that pressure.
Yup, just a fraction of a cloth armor, one sleeve on a t-shirt, but it is enough to make a difference in some of these situations and some of these lanes. Tactical and CoreJJ continuing to control the lane down here in bottom side. You can see they've got the minion lead, they've got the tempo. As long as they don't get pulled into a bad spot, they will remain in control.
Exactly, and I think Santorin coming into this lineup, this I think is a really good draft for him in particular. They have a Lulu specifically for him. The team fight is going to be catered around him. There's going to be constant bot lane prio that Tactical and CoreJJ are going to be forcing for Dragon stacking and for Santorin to be higher experience level than Xerxe. So I think it's a really good Olaf draft. Only problem is going to be the 2v2 mid lane. If LeBlanc and Zhao is able to, let's say, get an ultimate from the Lulu, or get a really good trade on Santorin before an objective, then yeah, you got problems.
Then there's some issues. However, issues are starting down here in bottom lane first and foremost, as Tactical and CoreJJ will slam multiple waves into the turret and take the first plate here before 4 minutes, just immediately starting up the snowball and the power of the Caitlyn Thresh.
Yeah, and so there's going to be constantly chipping at the turret. If a trap is ever to get hit from Blitzcrank while they're under turret, then the follow-up from Thresh is always going to be there, and that's the concern, especially if the wave is bouncing towards Team Liquid. Then it could be hook into trap. Santorin's going to be gunning for that as well. He's playing top to bot, so he's looking for plays like these. So it's something to always watch out here for. It seems like Santorin is looking for a top lane play, though.
Okay, Santorin walking up here towards Revenge. Remember that Jayce still has that flash ready to go. Santorin will use the undertow to check the brush. Revenge, unaware of Santorin's current position, is backing up as Alphari shoves out the wave. Santorin recognizes there's not really a chance to do a lot here, so instead just heads back to farm.
Yeah, I mean, still a win there for Santorin. Like you said, the fact that Revenge is going to try his hardest to freeze that lane. He's in a good position, and you can never be too sure if Xerxe is going to be there on that minion wave. So he's there just to cover him. And then now that Raptor spawn, he's going for Krug's Raptors towards bot side. So Alphari is going to be pretty safe here. He has flash just in case for the next minute that he does get ganked, so I'm not too concerned about that.
Bottom lane, you can see Immortals will get things shoved out. They will have priority now, and you can see them moving up into the river just to sweep some things out, check for some vision, lay down some of their own. And Alphari with control over that top side, keeping that pushed up now too. Teleports being used by all 4 solo laners now to return to their lanes, as Jensen and Insanity both teleport back mid just about the same time.
Great trade there from Alphari. And the Santorin was sticking around here just in case because Revenge was trying to freeze the wave.
Ooh, double flank coming out. Raes down and out. First blood over to Team Liquid. CoreJJ makes the play. Destiny tries to flash away in a straight line, and that's not what you gotta do against the Thresh. Core just flays him right into the ground.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna be in range, so CoreJJ says, I'm gonna take that instead. So good. That flay on towards Raes. Raes felt like he was going to be in a fine position. Not the case. Take a look at this. They're trying to get this wave pushed in. I want to see the moment in which, okay, that's a lot of damage on towards Destiny, but it's Raes ultimately that goes too close. Ignite comes down. Well done. Well coordinated with Tactical as well, so the damage is coordinated.
And there it is. Nope. That's just not the way you gotta be. And they really wanted to give it to Tactical, but unfortunately, the range just wasn't there to be able to put the money on the AD carry. So CoreJJ, 2-0, 6 minutes into the game, goes back to base, has the completed plated steel caps. So all of a sudden, this lane that was already difficult for old Draven is even worse.
Yeah, I mean, that was just beautiful. And CoreJJ wanted to hand off those kills to Tactical, but in both cases, they were going to escape. So great plays overall from Team Liquid. If you're winning these 2v2, it's going to make the overall game plan that much harder. Here it is.
And remember that Blitzcrank has no flash still. They can go for him and just be guaranteed to get the kill every single time. Raes flashed away. He was never the target. They're going for the death sentence on the guaranteed thing, 3-0 TL.
Yeah, Raes was thinking about the what ifs, you know? What if he did get hooked? That would be tragic. Now you have an extra target on the next time round. If they want to go for a dive, they can do that. And now with both sums gone from Raes and Destiny, bad comes to worst. Mark said you're either getting an 8 or a 2. We're getting that 2 area here from Raes and Destiny.
And hey, it's just like you pointed out earlier. Santorin is happy about this state of the game, man. When your bot lane is just absolutely smacking the enemy bot lane, dragons are free.
Yes, and this is a real, I mean, Insanity's going to be fine here, but he is going to get traded upon pretty easily. Okay, nice trade to put Jensen back a half. But to your point, I mean, Team Liquid only had 1 game this split that they played both Alphari and Santorin on the same team, right?
Oh, Santorin, speak of the devil, and he shall flash away. Santorin tries to contest the enemy red buff, but as Immortals move to collapse, he's not wanting anything to do with that.
Yeah, but there's nothing large, no objective that's going to be played for. Maybe Rift Herald, but he should have his ultimate back in that time. But to finish my point, I mean, this is a really straightforward composition for this team that does support Santorin quite a bit. They're going to be making a play on towards the Lulu.
Okay, Jensen again taking some damage. Insanity has been having some good moves here in the mid lane. Your death sentence finds Destiny, but he is not pulled all the way back into the trap. A nice hook comes out. Damage going through and tactical at 200 HP. But it is Raes who again is on the wrong side of a bullet.
The tactical snipe on that one got hit by the 90 caliber. That was a really good play overall. Destiny found a great hook. Oh no.
Insanity might be able to get a solo kill here onto Jensen. Jumps forward with the distortion. Would need a little bit more damage against it. Polymorph though, and that will be the death rattle from the Team Liquid mid laner to guarantee a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Santorin was there just in time to be able to make the trade happen. Polymorph was great, but take a look at this bot lane domination.
Deader than a doornail at 9 minutes into the game. The turret's gone.
You know, you're not used to this.
That's not a plate, man. That's the whole thing.
The whole damn thing. And enough time for them to swap topside and try for more turret plates. Take a look at this. This was a good look initially, I would say, if I'm remembering this properly, from Blitzcrank. Waiting for the Lantern to get hit. But overall, Raes is just way too low. Auto, yeah, just pops him.
And CoreJJ too, as soon as he sees that 90 caliber net hit, he immediately decides, okay, drop the Ignite, because Ignite plus Headshot is guaranteed to get the kill, and the sooner I drop it, the higher percentage chance it'll tick in time for the Headshot to be the killing blow and give the gold over to Tactical.
Yeah, both times Ignite was used on Raes when he was damn certain CoreJJ that the kill was going to come through, if they coordinated it properly. And it feels like this is the Tactical and CoreJJ we've been waiting for all split long. Straight bot lane domination. They did get help. They were being played to, but this is them paying it back to the rest of the team.
Exactly. 5-1. Team Liquid. 3,500 gold lead. The clock barely reads 10 minutes. Holy man, Immortals are not happy with this early state of the game. And remember what we were talking about with compositions. They're not playing a comp that's going to scale up and be great in team fights. Alphari, can you smell what the Rock is cooking? It smells like a 6-1 game.
No flash or revenge? No problem. Got an easy kill on towards him, and topside, IMT is still feeling that pressure. This is for all the Team Liquid fans. Now that Santorin's back, Alphari is seeing consistent play, we're worried. How long would it take for this team to click? They're clicking now.
Oh no, Immortals have got to try to stop this bleeding somehow, but now with Tactical and CoreJJ unleashed, this is what happens whenever Caitlyn is meta, right? Like, we haven't seen Caitlyn in a little while, but Caitlyn's job is to smack down her turret as fast as possible, rotate to the other lanes, and do the same thing. Gun down all those tier 1s, give the entire team a bunch of golden map control, and that's exactly what Tactical and CoreJJ are doing. Yeah,
and there's no way Draven can stay underneath that turret. Blitzcrank is bot side. Just trying to see if they can make a play happen in the meantime. But that means Caitlyn is getting more experience. Nice try for a hook on towards Santorin, but hey, IMT is trying to find a way to trade. But overall, this is still better for Team Liquid.
Yeah, Immortals only get the mandatory 2 plates out of the Rift Herald because of the missed hook. There's no more playmaking opportunities here. Meanwhile, back up in top lane, Caitlyn doing what Caitlyn does, working away at those plates. Back here in mid, Jensen knows his job. It's to be a Lulu, and a Lulu sits under turret and takes whatever farm she can get and smiles about it because her Caitlyn is currently slamming the game.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Getting top lane turret soon enough, too.
Oh,
not even close, but yeah, Jensen now just taunting them, getting hit with a shock blast. But overall, I think Jensen's been doing a great job ever since losing his flash. There's been multiple attempts at his life and has been playing fairly close to his turret. In that role, in that position that he's playing as Lulu, yeah, you're definitely just needed for team fights and to not die. Speaking of not dying, Team Liquid definitely think that they can find a play here.
Okay.
Malphite is in the area, has ultimate. There's no Caitlyn, though, so they might want to play this slow.
Yeah. It is just a Cloud Drake. Team Liquid can give this one away if they feel like it. Alphari does have the ulti ready to go. Team Liquid do not feel like giving this one away. Destiny with the Hex flash over the wall to get out of the Drake pit. Xerxe still has the Cloud Drake aggroed. He's still looking to burn this down. Santorin goes in. It'll be a 50-50. Xerxe wins the coin toss. Immortals disengage. Santorin continues the chase. Revenge will be the target. They've already got the Ragnarok Olaf. Revenge jumps right back in with no way out. And Team Liquid will trade the Drake for a single kill. However, a nice pull over the wall into CoreJJ will not result in a kill. He flashes back out to safety. Back in the mid lane, Tactical takes a lot of damage there from the whirling Death. But Death will not find anyone on Team Liquid here in this fight.
Great coin flip overall. That was more IMT trying to just delay Team Liquid. If Team Liquid got it, that would have been their second dragon and they're accelerated. Nice pick.
Yeah, another good pull coming out, and that time they get the kill. Wind becomes lightning. Lightning kills Lulu, and Xerxe will get the second kill of the game for Immortals. CoreJJ now putting a lot of pain back onto Insanity, who very foolishly tries to jump in on top of 3 Team Liquid players. Tactical wants to step forward and find even more. Xerxe's about to die, and the Comet gets him as Alphari will walk away with his second kill.
Yeah, we got ourselves here an extended ARAM. Insanity trying to find a flank play, but the rest of his team was way too low because of the fight prior to that one. So they were just not in a position to help him out. And that little bit of that Comet proc that just hit Xerxe on top of his noggin, that one is rough, but
those are unlucky, man.
Yeah,
You always hate to see that. You survive the spell with just enough, and then you see that stupid little blue thing flying through the air, and you're just counting your seconds. You know it's done.
it's always the dinkiest animations that I hate dying to. That one, if an airy proc just scuttles over to your
that stupid squirrel, that's the worst. I hate that. When that thing kills you, that is the ultimate mark of shame.
It hurts. It hurts. That's when you start looking at your own inventory and just pray that you don't have a potion, because that would have saved you.
Do you remember when they first redid the runes and Airy was so busted it did like more damage than Comet, and everyone took it after they nerfed Dark Harvest?
Yep.
And so you would actually die to water squirrels way too common. I hated that. That was the most tilting thing. I always felt like such a wimp getting my ass kicked by this squirrel.
Yes.
It was the worst. It was the worst.
Everyone would be holding it. So in this case, you know, Comet kills you. Happens. Xerxe's not going to die to that one again, you pray. But
you would hope. For Immortals, you would hope. For Team Liquid, you don't mind, because honestly, this entire game has just been a complete stomp for TL. 6,000 gold lead, 15 minutes. The Drakes are tied. It will be an Infernal Soul this game if it reaches that point, so even more damage potential for this team. Down here in bottom lane, Revenge will be able to get out in time.
Great overall play here from Team Liquid. Team Liquid, I would say, at their best, work really well around side lanes. I think they're the teams that amplify that the most. In this case, they have a pretty much straightforward teamfight comp that, you know, doesn't necessarily need to be on side lanes. Even if they have that advantage, 2 kills on the Malphite, they are still kind of playing towards that, though. You know, if Alphari is on side, Santorin knows he can get a kill, or at least a flash. And if they get a flash from Malphite ultimate, they're targeting that player the next fight. And that's what happened to Revenge, right? Revenge lost his flash, and he died twice in his 1 flash cooldown timer.
Man, look at how dark this map is for the side of Immortals.
Ooh.
Team Liquid has control just over everything. That whole bottom half of the map looks like a silver solo queue game where there's nobody's placing no wards, and there's no point because they can't get out there. It's not safe.
And I would say it's even scarier the fact that we're an Infernal map, just because Alphari now has multiple angles in which he can come in a flank. If we're playing towards Baron, you know, that's coming in 4 minutes. It's a long time from now, but let's just put that imagination out there. Then, you know, the Malphite couldn't be anywhere. And you really need to place proper wards for your IMT to catch that out and really ward that flank. So I would say Team Liquid seems like they're always going to get the fight that they want if they play this properly.
All right, well, I'm going to give you the tough question then.
Okay.
We have to ask it. The game just looks completely doomed for Immortals at this point in time with how Team Liquid is rolling around in this death ball, protecting this incredibly powerful Caitlyn. What is even the move for Immortals? Are you just trying to play around Jayce, grabbing a turret while nobody's paying attention? Are you looking for a pick with LeBlanc? Is there even a viable strategy aside from cross your fingers and hope that TL screws up?
Crossing your fingers will help.
Okay.
If you close your eyes out there, imagine Destiny on that God-had Blitzcrank, right? Gets the Lulu. You won't kill him this time because he's using his E and maybe using flash or something like that. You won't kill him the second time because he has ultimate. But that third hook.
Are you telling me, Mr. Raes, that the win con you're hoping for is a God hand 3 in a row?
You need that hat trick.
Okay.
Or you just hope that Jensen's on another stratosphere as you're hooking one of his teammates. Because even if you do hook a Thresh or the Lulu and you commit to that fight, Team Liquid is just still stronger than you, like by far. So you need to get like whittle at their resources a little bit by bit. Flash is going to be coming up soon for Jensen, though, so he's only going to get stronger from here.
Yeah,
not going to help the point that you wanted me to give you.
Yeah, we've got ourselves another Drake going the way of TL now, too. So a 2-1 lead in that department. A little bit under 2 minutes until our Baron spawns for the first time this game. I'm sure Team Liquid will have complete control over that area by the time we get there. But one thing that I want to see from Team Liquid here, because you have a siege machine like Caitlyn, because that machine is so far ahead of the curve of the game, I don't want to see that 45-minute Resident Sleeper version of Team Liquid that can't end a game.
100%.
I want to see a snowball.
It's not going to be anything like the last game that we saw, where FlyQuest was just perma-clearing waves, and really Golden Guardian's only opportunity at trying to get the turrets are just straight diving. Here, range advantage is there from Team Liquid. The dive is very easy from Team Liquid as well if they want to fully commit to it. And you have Draven LeBlanc. You literally just do not have wave clear on your composition. Unless if we're just straight using Draven ultimate. So
yeah,
this is going to be a really tough one from IMT because this should be straightforward from Team Liquid.
And the power of Caitlyn in these scenarios, just what she can do with those traps, it brings something that no other marksman is able to bring in just making, look at how impossible this is to contest for Immortals. They can't step up and even go for a miracle hook because there's 90 cupcakes on the ground.
Yeah, IMT is just there, you know, formalities. They got the RSVP. They're like, we need to be here, but we really aren't useful.
Yeah.
No, we're just here chilling out. They are just praying for Destiny. Grab yourself a control ward, plop it wherever you are, and just start chucking fists.
Just throw some hooks out there and hope that it lands, because that's about all you got right now. Team Liquid have now taken down 5 enemy turrets. Team Liquid have now summoned the Rift Herald for the second time. Oh, no, that's their first Rift Herald, excuse me. Second Herald this game. And there you go. That's a bottom inhibitor turret gone. The inhibitor itself will die to another charge. Boom, there we go with a headbutt. They do not want to allow this Herald to charge into the Nexus turrets. That will be stopped, but inhibitor down at 20 minutes. This is what I said I wanted to see.
Yep, this is just a really clean version of Team Liquid. In fact, they're trying to see if they can press their advantage even more. Mid lane wave is was getting pushed out there from Draven, so I think basing is a good decision here. You don't want to waste too much time. In fact, if you're able to get out into the map on the next minion wave, then you're just going to protect third dragon pretty easily. I know it's 2 minutes away, but in what planet is IMT ever going to contest their own red side jungle with how lit up it is right now?
Yeah. Now, the other thing that I see here, and this is part of the conversation that's happening a lot more around inhibitors, at least that I've seen recently, is taking them early, making sure that it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Because if you're not getting enough, you're just funneling your opponent's gold. All of their minions are going to die automatically with a super minion, so you're not farming that. So what I want to see from TL here is they either need to get that last tier 2, push onto another inhibitor, they need to go for the Baron. Something needs to be made out of this inhibitor take to make that the right choice.
Yeah, I know we're pretty late in the split, and I feel like it's because of that Team Liquid should play around with Baron vision at this moment in time. Because you're right. You have bot lane inhibitor down. You can just duck into the top lane vision. At this point, I think there are a lot of good wards here from IMT, so they should see it coming from a mile away. That'll just really stop them from looking to defend it. Even if they try and contest late, you just have a ticking time bomb bot lane now. They're just going to siege mid inhibitor because there's nothing IMT can do about it.
And the Caitlyn now, Infinity Edge, Gale Force, Rapid Fire Cannon. We never hit that point in the game, that notorious Caitlyn point where it's after laning ends, but it's before 3 items where she just kind of feels crappy, right? We never hit that because he's so far ahead of the curve of the game, he's already got the 3-item power spike. This is a nightmare scenario for Immortals.
Yeah, because I mean, Team Liquid has Olaf, Lulu that's bridging to that Caitlyn 3rd item. And oh god, they're not even... They're just going to straight up take the mid lane inhibitor turret.
Insanity just lost half his HP to like 2 auto attacks. Team Liquid just muscling their way into the base. Inhibitor number 2, we will see you later. Team Liquid will pick this one up free of charge. Couple of headshots there if Immortals want to try to posture any sort of aggressively. And now we've got the minion wave colliding up in top. The waves are all in the right place. Team Liquid's all in the right place. Shock Blast is in the right place, but it just don't do enough.
IMT need to die in a blaze of glory. I don't give a damn if they win this fight. They need to lose in style. Right now they're bleeding out. This next wave is going to be a cannon. Team Liquid are just going to commit to this one. Yeah, they're just too low HP.
Immortals, you got to do something. You got to do something, boys. What's it going to be? Santorin's on the side. Oh, the Nexus turrets are crumbling to the minion wave as well. Destiny runs away. Alphari tries to go in there with the ulti, but a good flash from Destiny will keep him safe from that one. But with all the pressure coming in bottom, all the pressure coming in mid, and then all of Team Liquid in top, it's just surely over from here, Raes.
Classic Team Liquid, while they don't have the ultimate from Alphari, will take an inhibitor topside and dart straight towards the dragon. Here's the fight.
Xerxe tries to flash in, looking to make the moves here, but now he's going to be pulled right back in with a death sentence living up to its name. Immortals jungler is down. Team Liquid hasn't lost a man. Santorin with Ragnarok to make sure he doesn't get caught in the enemy base. He'll back away. Death sentence over the wall, and CoreJJ flashes away from the hook.
TP's still there from Alphari, so even though he lost a lot of HP, he can just rejoin the fight quickly. IMT need to leave.
Tactical, getting jumped on here. Insanity putting some good burst on the enemy AD carry, but not enough. Ace in the hole is ready to go once again. Alphari does not have the ulti still. There's a kill coming out for Immortals, but it will be a 1-for-1. Insanity traded away for Tactical.
Oh no!
They will finally shut down the Caitlyn, but it is too damn little, too damn late. Too many minions in the base. 24 minutes into the game, Team Liquid are looking to end. Alphari tanking up here on the front line. Santorin doing the same, almost out of mana here on the Olaf. Another hook will not find a target. Team Liquid with a 4-man push, continue moving forward. CoreJJ with a nice death sentence down on the enemy AD carry yet again. Jensen getting himself away, Santorin grabbing a kill. Team Liquid gonna lose their support. Immortals still trying to find the fight here with Xerxe unable to kill Jensen. Revenge tries to stay alive as long as he can. He's the last man standing, and good night. Team Liquid barely even made this look like a game of League of Legends. It was a slaughter start to finish. 25 minutes into the game, pad the stats a little bit more, why not? Immortals fall, and Team Liquid takes the win.
It was a slow burn. IMT felt true despair. They couldn't do anything when they were getting siege. Bot lane, mid, top lane, they needed to make the call. Even though they knew it was going to be bad, they needed to do something. That was just straight Team Liquid domination.
That was such a juxtaposition from what we saw in the previous game, where the defending team had so many tools with which to turtle up. Just Ziggs on his own is an entire toolkit full of things that can make you last longer in those defensive scenarios than you should. And then you see this game, which you wisely pointed out. Okay, we got Jayce.
Yep.
We got LeBlanc. We got Draven.
Yeah.
And none of this kills waves very effectively.
The Draven double axe, but then you gotta wait how many minutes?
Okay, you can do that once every minute and a half. Sure. Okay, cool. I'll give you one wave. But it was just, there was no way out. It seemed like as soon as Immortals fell behind, the game was done. Team Liquid knew it, and they sent it home in style. We're tossing to another break now, but afterwards, we've got Dash and Santorin in the Verizon post-game interview. Santorin's back. He's back in style. Don't go anywhere.
Team Liquid's back.